Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 4th of April. PM Modi describes BIMSTEC as vital platform for promoting global good. Businesses across South Asia weigh risks as Trump's tariffs upend global trade. And EU urged to suspend Pakistan's trade benefits over rights violations. And now for all the details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi continued the diplomatic outreach in Southeast Asia as he participated in the 6th BIMSTEC summit. On the sidelines, the Prime Minister also held key bilateral meetings, including a significant first-ever engagement with Bangladesh Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus and Nepal's PM KP Sharma Oli. Following his engagement, he departed for Colombo for a state visit to the island nation. Report.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the 6th BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok on Friday outlined a vision for stronger regional cooperation, calling BIMSTEC a vital bridge between South and Southeast Asia. He emphasized enhanced collaboration in connectivity, trade, disaster management and public health while launching initiatives to boost cultural and people-to-people ties. Modi reaffirmed India's role as a first responder to regional disasters. On the summit's sidelines, he held talks with leaders including Nepal's PM, Myanmar's military chief, and Bangladesh Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus, the first meeting since former PM Sheikh Hasina fled to India. He reiterated to Yunus India's support for a democratic, stable, peaceful, progressive and inclusive Bangladesh, and urged that rhetoric that vitiates the environment is best avoided. Notably, they also discussed extradition of Hasina, request which has been pending with New Delhi. PM Modi also raised India's concerns related to the safety and security of minorities in Bangladesh, including Hindus.
Prime Minister also underlined India's concerns related to the safety and security of minorities in Bangladesh, including Hindus, and expressed his expectation that the government of Bangladesh would ensure their security, including by thoroughly investigating all cases of atrocities committed against them.
Concluding his engagements in Bangkok, Prime Minister Modi emplaned for Colombo for a state visit. He is the first foreign head of government to be hosted by President Disanayake's administration. The visit aims to strengthen bilateral relations and advance cooperation in multiple sectors. India is also one of Sri Lanka's key bilateral lenders, which agreed to restructure about $1.36 billion in loans after the island nation defaulted on its debt in May 2022.
A rapid and large-scale humanitarian response from India is underway in Myanmar, which has been rocked by a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake. With over 1,000 tons of relief material already dispatched, Indian warplanes and Navy ships are leading rescue efforts in the quake-hit country. A report.
India has scaled up its humanitarian assistance to earthquake-hit Myanmar, deploying Indian Air Force aircraft and Navy ships carrying over 1,000 tons of relief material. The rapid response comes in the wake of a devastating 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck central and northern Myanmar, causing widespread destruction and overwhelming local infrastructure. Talking to ANI, India's ambassador to Myanmar, Abhay Thakur, emphasized the scale and speed of the Indian effort and said, "New Delhi has been the most substantive, the fastest, and the most significant responder to the earthquake in Myanmar." He added, India is also preparing to support Myanmar in the rehabilitation and reconstruction phase. He underlined that the response has reinforced India's image as Myanmar's closest and most trusted neighbor, citing the two nations' civilizational ties and strategic location in India's Neighborhood First and Act East policy frameworks.
India has been at the forefront of the response to this massive earthquake that has struck Myanmar along its main fault line, um, including Mandalay, Naypyidaw, Bago, Sagaing, and northern Shan regions. India has been the most substantive, the fastest, and the most significant responder to the earthquake in Myanmar. It was within 48 hours of the earthquake of 7.7 magnitude that our teams were in Naypyidaw. And I must share here that the Indian aircraft were the first which landed in Naypyidaw.
Amid the heightened rescue efforts by India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met Myanmar junta chief, General Min Aung Hlaing, on the sidelines of the BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok on Friday. The two leaders are believed to have discussed ongoing rescue operations, future cooperation on reconstruction, and broader regional stability. Myanmar shares a 1,600-kilometer-long land border with India, particularly with the northeastern states. India's effort in the disaster-affected region has positioned itself as a first responder of the South Asian region.
The military government said on Sunday more than 1,700.
Meanwhile, members of the Indian community in Myanmar have welcomed India's swift and substantial humanitarian assistance in the aftermath of the devastating earthquake that struck central and northern parts of the country.
As India has mobilized its armed forces and humanitarian resources to aid earthquake-hit Myanmar, the Indian community in the country has expressed immense pride and gratitude over New Delhi's rapid and substantial response. India's support includes rescue equipment, medical teams, medicines, tents, and other essential supplies. Community members said India's proactive response has also helped strengthen people-to-people ties.
तो अभी इस समय में भारत का तुरंत एक्शन लिया है। ये अपना लोकल, हम लोग तो 3 पीढ़ी से इधर ही है, तो हम लोग का लिए बहुत ताकत भी है और दोनों देशों का ऐसे विषय में पहले भारत ही आया है। ये अपना तरफ से बहुत खुशी का बात है। ऐसे अपना भारत का प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी का एक्शन अपना एक बहुत ताकत मिला।
Indian community is working hand in hand with the Myanmar community, both during prosperous times and even during these difficult times which Myanmar is facing. We are helping the community by providing relief goods, by providing medicines, and also providing manpower to support the relief effort which is happening in Mandalay and all over the country.
Voices from Myanmar's Indian community have said India's response has created an opportunity to deepen mutual trust, adding that New Delhi's effort will be remembered in the long run.
And South Asia's export engines are stalling as a new wave of US tariffs shakes up global trade. From India to Bangladesh, industries are bracing for impact, and some are hoping to turn crisis into opportunity.
South Asian businesses are reacting cautiously to US President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs. Analysts warn US consumer goods may get costlier by up to 40%. For Indian manufacturers, tariffs up to 26% raise fresh uncertainty. The levies have pushed US import taxes to a 100-year high, sparking fears of currency slides and sovereign credit hits.
कम में तो सर अभी भी आप देख लो ग्लोबली वैसे भी मंदी चल रही है, तो वैसे भी अभी उसका जो फिगर है मतलब वो कम ही है, और ये ऊपर से ये जले पे नमक जैसी बात है। वैसे भी एक टैरिफ बढ़ेगा तो आने वाले दिनों में अभी इनिशियली तो कोई ऐसा लगेगा नहीं कि बूस्ट मिलेगा, अभी इनिशियली तो ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि अभी डाउन ही होगा सर।
Pakistan's exporters, especially in textiles, say the 29% tariff could hit hard amid an ongoing currency crunch and trade imbalance. Kenya, with only 10% duties, called it a competitive edge over Pakistan, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Analysts warn the tariff wave may worsen emerging market debt.
This tariff could lead to instability in economics, क्योंकि जो 29% उन्होंने हमारे पे टैरिफ लगाया है उसकी वजह से हम जो भी गुड्स या माल जो भी अमेरिका को अब एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे वो अराउंड 29% हमें महंगा पड़ जाएगा, जो जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी हमारी इंस्टेबिलिटी आ सकती है पाकिस्तान में। लेकिन मैं ज़ाती तौर पर समझता हूँ कि अगर इंडिया के ऊपर और चाइना के ऊपर उन्होंने हमसे भी ज़्यादा टैरिफ लगाया है तो हो सकता है हमें यहाँ पे कोई चांस मिल जाए उसकी मार्केट को कैप्चर करने का।
Meanwhile, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka face some of the steepest tariffs, 37% and 44% respectively. The blow is sharpest for Bangladesh's garment sector, which makes up over 80% of its exports and nearly 10% of the GDP.
দ্বিগুণেরও বেশি ট্যারিফ ইম্পোজ হয়, এটা তো ডেফিনেটলি একটা দুঃসংবাদ। বাংলাদেশি মেকার হিসেবে, বাংলাদেশি এক্সপোর্টার হিসেবে এটা আমাদের জন্য অত্যন্ত শকিং নিউজ। তবে আমার মনে হয় বাংলাদেশের আর্থসামাজিক প্রেক্ষাপট বিবেচনায় নিলে শুধু লেস প্রিভিলেজড বিশাল একটা জনগোষ্ঠী, বিশেষ করে মহিলারা, নারীরা কাজ করে এই সেক্টরে এবং প্রান্তিক জনগোষ্ঠীগুলো, তারা বড় ধরনের ক্ষতির সম্মুখীন হবে যদি আমেরিকান বায়াররা বাংলাদেশ থেকে মুখ ফিরিয়ে নেয়।
Moving on, politicians and human rights organizations have called on the European Union to suspend Pakistan's preferential tariffs benefits for exports under the GSP Plus until the country takes concrete steps to address widespread human rights violations and religious persecution, according to a report by Human Rights Without Frontiers. This demand follows growing concerns over Pakistan's record on human rights, particularly the treatment of religious minorities and the alarming rise in forced child marriages. Willy Potter, director of Human Rights Without Frontiers, criticized the EU for its failure to hold Pakistan accountable. He stated that over the years, many parliamentary questions and resolutions have highlighted Pakistan's disregard for human rights and its lack of political will to address these violations. By failing to sanction Pakistan's non-implementation of GSP Plus, the EU is misusing the taxpayers' money and losing its credibility as a commercial entity guided by human values, HRWF said. Despite the EU's long-standing awareness of human rights abuses, including the fabrication of blasphemy charges and violence against religious minorities, the situation has remained largely unchanged for over a decade, the rights watchdog said. And Nepal's National Human Rights Commission's plan to form a high-level probe panel into the March 28 pro-monarchy protest violence has hit a snag. Retired judges have declined to lead the investigation, citing political sensitivity. Despite calls for impartiality, the Commission's internal team is continuing the probe, visiting the protest site and hospitals treating the injured. 13 people remained hospitalized and a journalist was killed. Reports suggest the Nepal police has admitted firing 58 bullets and over 700 tear gas shells. While the government and the police claim firing was necessary to control the situation, some argue excessive use of force instigated the protesters. Critics are demanding an independent government-led investigation amid growing concerns of excessive force and delayed communication by the Commission. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.